I guess you love movies. I do too. Hi guys, and welcome back to another movie review. Today we're going to be talking about Wonder Woman. And I've had quite negative thoughts on most of the DC films since Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. I made a video after I watched Suicide Squad quite a long time ago now, right when I started doing this channel, about how DC need to change their game in order to, revive this franchise, which has really only just started, and the universe already is in peril of being really bad, because Batman vs Superman, really didn't like that at all. Suicide Squad I thought was even worse. I thought it was really, really bad. And I didn't mind Man of Steel, but overall I haven't seen a good DC film in this universe yet. And from the reviews of Wonder Woman so far, that's what I was expecting. I was expecting a good DC film for the first time in a long time, and overall I got that. I thought this was definitely the best DCEU film so far, and over the course of this video I'm going to get into why I think that. So Wonder Woman is about the origins of Wonder Woman on her island with the Amazons, and her growing up and everything like that, as well as her finding out about World War One. And her will to fight and defend the Earth against who she believes is Ares, trying to destroy mankind. And overall I really enjoyed Wonder Woman, and one of the main reasons is I just massively buy Gal Gadot in this role. A lot of people, when she was cast, were very underwhelmed, kind of weren't really sold on the idea of her as Wonder Woman, and I kind of enjoyed her. Even though she had only a small part in Batman vs Superman, I enjoyed her in that film, and I thought that she really did really well in this film. Overall, her performance is good. She's really good in the action scenes, as well as some of the more tender moments in the film. And I thought that Patty Jenkins, the director of Monster, a film that I think is fantastic and has one of the best female performances I've ever seen from Charlize Theron, she again really sells this female performance, and her direction has kind of some good subtleties to it, and has a little bit more human drama, which allows it to be a little bit more relatable rather than just a superhero film. And then to the things that you'd expect in a superhero film, a lot of the action is really, really good. They still like their slow-mo, fast-mo sort of style of action, obviously trying to keep that continuity with the Zack Snyder style, which I've never been a massive fan of. The first action scene in the film on a beach is very 300-like, and I didn't quite buy it. But when you get past the origin story stage, which is very standard, and it's fine, it's enjoyable enough, but you know what you're expecting from that. Once you get into the second act, this is where the film really kicks on. You get some really good character development. The film has some really good humour in it as well. A lot of the side characters are very entertaining. And even though a few of the jokes miss, most of the time they hit, and it is very entertaining a lot of the time. The middle portion has the best action sequences. Once Wonder Woman goes behind enemy lines, you really get some incredible action sequences. And there's enough practical effects in there. There's definitely CGI, but there's enough practical effects to make you care and make you feel like this is really happening. And that's my main issue with the third act of the film. There's a certain element of the film that is left up to what you think will happen. It's about Wonder Woman's opinion on why the war is happening and so on. And I would have maybe liked it to have gone a slightly different direction. It was a little safe, maybe, but I understand why they did it, and I think the finale is a little bit too CGI for its own good. It had a little bit of the reminiscence of Batman vs Superman. Obviously, nowhere near as bad, but it was probably a little bit too overly CGI for me. And it was a bit bloated and didn't really flow as well as the other scenes that had a lot more practical effects in them, and you could feel that they felt real. This was a little bit more computer generated and a little bit bloated for me. So really, what I'm saying is I really enjoyed Wonder Woman. I thought it was a very good film. I thought it was definitely the best DCU film, but I think that it is getting overhyped because of the poor level of DC films recently. I think it's a good film. I don't think it's a great film. I think it definitely has issues, But overall, I think it's definitely the best DCEU film for a long time. I think, you know, the best since The Dark Knight Rises, probably about the same level as that. So overall, I enjoyed Wonder Woman, and I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. So there you go, that's my review of Wonder Woman. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, like, subscribe, drop your comments down in the section below. Have you seen Wonder Woman yet? If not, what's your favourite DC film? Mine's The Dark Knight. It's like my favourite film, one of my favourite films of all time, so I do have high expectations for these DC films. Probably the reason I was so disappointed in the last few years, but Wonder Woman was pretty good. So there you go, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Goodbye.